What's going on, everyone? How we doing? Angel of Battle back here for another exciting episode of the Valkyrie podcast. And today I have a very special guest. Please welcome in our director of esports and a good buddy, Mr. Shadow. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Man, I've had a great day today. I'm ready to get this podcast on the way, and we're going to have a great time.
Oh, yeah. I know you and I have been talking. We've been really wanting to get you on. I've had a couple people kind of slotted before you, but now's finally your time in the hot seat. But before we can continue on, we always love to shed some light over to our partners and our good buddies over there at Gamer Subs. They just actually released a brand new flavor called Blowhole Blast. It's one of their partnerships, one of their collaborations with Shy Lily, one of the, I guess, more famous VTubers going on right now as well. So make sure you head on over to gamersubs.gg, use code Valkyrie to get 10% off getting Blowhole Blast if you want, or maybe one of their new waifu cups or new creator cups as well, and get you guys some merch as well if you want to do that. So Shadow, man,
yes, sir.
Go ahead and kind of explain what it is. I know people right now are probably seeing, obviously we don't have a camera to show them your beautiful, handsome face, so they're going to have to deal with your great voice tonight. But kind of explain, I guess, who you are, what do you do for the org, I guess the title of esports director, because that might be a little confusing for some people. And then we'll kind of move on from there.
So, I mean, obviously, I'm Shadow or Tyler, whatever people prefer to call me. Sometimes it's Idiot, but we're going to roll with it. But I'm part of Valkyrie with Sean, obviously, or Angel. I'm sorry. And I'm the director of esports, or esports director. It's the same thing, just people use it differently. And basically, what I do for the org is I handle all the esports tasks, which is managing teams, scouting, recruiting, meeting with teams, finding tournaments, trying to get the names out there, help even branding the players and stuff like that. So it's just mostly just the competitive side of what org does, basically.
Gotcha. Someone that's really focusing, like, it takes the stress off of like ownership of being able to, like you said, go out, scout, recruit, and handle, kind of step in and handle some needs for those teams as well.
Yeah,
I guess would be kind of a good synopsis.
Yeah, because the owners need time to handle getting what's the word I'm looking for, sponsors. That's what I'm looking for. And that stuff behind the scenes that maybe I don't know about, or maybe some other people but don't know about, but it needs to happen so the org can flourish.
Gotcha. And I mean, you are a very well decorated person in esports, at least from the information that I've gotten from you over the last, how many months have you been with us for? What, like at least 4 or 5?
I believe it's September 29th was the first official day.
Yeah. Just kind of the knowledge, or like what I've learned about you over the short span that you've been with us so far, I guess. Well, I don't know if I can call it short anymore, but still, is that you've had a lot of different roles and a lot of experience with just esports in general throughout your career. Like I think you said you were like a team owner at one point.
I was oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Actually, who's better to tell your story than you? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I started in, I want to say around, I think May or June of 2018-ish when I got involved with esports. I started competing at Black Ops 4, and then I got invited to go to or not really invited, but I was chosen to go to the Fort Worth major in Black Ops 4, and which we wasn't going to do good. Everyone knew that because we weren't screaming much because like 3 of the guys was on another team, so it was just it was bad. Let's just put it that way. All right. So after that, I actually got promoted to, I guess it's a promotion in a sense. Basically being like a recruiter for esports, and start getting to like Rainbow Six at the time, Gears of War, a little bit of Call of Duty some more, and then it just transitioned me to being a GM, and then eventually becoming a co-owner of that org, which was HNC Esports, and then took like a little mental health break, and then I came back, and now I'm a director of esports.
And we are so happy to have you, by the way.
Yes,
thank
sir.
God. Like in the 4 or 5 months you've been with, you've done like a ton of work as well, and have brought together a phenomenal COD team that we just announced this week as well, and they have started to compete under the banner, which has been very exciting. Valkyrie's return to COD, kind of the roots of Valkyrie. Mitch and Zach have got started in COD, and I really believe that a lot of esports teams that have lasted for this long, that's where a lot of their roots are, because of like Black Ops, Modern Warfare 2, and kind of just COD in general, that got people hooked on esports. I mean, there's other ones out there like Rocket League, Counter-Strike, and stuff like that, or League of Legends, but I feel like in the shooter genre that we live in, that COD really, it got a lot of people their start. So I guess that's a really good kind of like starting point tonight, is to, I guess, and a question I ask a lot of my guests that come in is, we like to game. Our org is filled with gamers throughout the end. So what got you, I guess, where did you find your start in gaming? And what kind of captured that spark for you, and what kind of motivated you to keep playing, I guess?
Man, that's a good question.
Right?
Like, I want to say it probably started when I was real young, because my mother, she still had the old Nintendo 64.
Yes.
And then we started playing Donkey Kong Country, Super Mario Brothers together, and all that. She like, especially with Super Mario, she knew like all like the secrets in and everything, so it always captivated me, which led to me getting a PlayStation 2 and playing like Dynasty Warriors, and I don't even know what I had too many games on that PlayStation 2. Then got me a 360 and started playing like the Mass Effect trilogy, which I grew up playing a lot of single player games at first, and I still do to this day. I love single player games, and it's like therapeutic for me to play them. Because as you've seen, I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order recently. I've been, oh my gosh,
I can't wait for the new one coming out,
bro. The nerd in me is about to come out. But anyways. And then I finally got me a PC or a laptop. I can't remember. I think it was like a bad laptop, and I found this game called Dota 2, which is the better version of League of Legends. Let me just throw that out there, okay? Man. Yeah, I'm ruffling some feathers tonight, boy. Yeah. And I mean, I've got almost 4K hours on that game by now. I'm playing like a few minutes before we started recording. And it just transitioned to me playing Call of Duty, Valorant, a little CSGO, and stuff of that nature. So I just love gaming.
I gotcha. Yeah, I was gonna bring up Dota. I know, like, that's kind of a big area of your life. You said you got like 4,000 hours in the game and stuff like that. Sir. Where were your first experiences? Like, who exposed you to Dota, and what about it?
Oh my Lord!
Got you hooked and kept you playing?
Let me think. That's been a long time ago. It's been almost a decade now. Actually, no, it's been over a decade if I'm not mistaken. But it was this little group I was a part of. It was like a Steam group called. It started as Kappa Effect and then went on to be Next National. It was just like a group of friends that just game together and just and. Like, there was this one guy named Toasty. Yeah, I don't know why. That was his name, and we always made a joke, Toasty, And he was such a cool dude. And sadly, I don't play with him anymore. I guess he stopped gaming many years ago. But I think what really grabbed my attention in Dota is it was actually my first multiplayer experience in a video game. And me, who was playing sports at the time, was like, oh, so I can compete on the football field and on my computer. Oh yeah, here we go. And it's just transitioned into what I am now, I guess.
I got you. So you're a big sports guy too?
Oh yes, sir. I love them.
So football, is that like your favorite sport, or?
Oh, by far. I grew up playing it since I was 4.
Okay. I always enjoyed watching the game and playing as far as like pickup and stuff. but I never really got a chance to play organized football. My mom always thought I'd get hurt and stuff like that. So
Yeah, that's a lot of parents' fears, but it's man, it's great. Like it's so I won't say you learn a lot about you learn more about life than you do about football when you play sport, or just sports in general, I should say. Because like the coaches always try to have like teach football and like translate it to like how the way of life would be when we get older as young men at the time.
Right. Yeah, I played baseball, so I did have a sport
Okay.
that I was allowed to play, but they did not like the fact of me playing football. So
I don't see. Okay, baseball, I'm not the biggest fan of.
gotcha. I think a lot of people it's one of those sports that you can put on in the background while you're like washing dishes or something, and kind of keep you, just because how long it takes for the game to be played.
I mean, like people grew up with baseball, and maybe that's why it's a great game. Like, I'm not saying anything's bad about the sport. It's just I'm used to playing football and basketball, which is, basketball is constantly running up and down the court, and football, especially nowadays with the no huddle, fast-paced offenses and everything, is constantly stuff going around. Then baseball is just, here we go.
Yep.
10 minutes later, here's a pitch. Woo! Strike.
Well, the funny part is my parents were always worried about me getting hurt, and I broke my nose playing baseball. I was
that'll do it.
I was a catcher. The roughest position you can be in.
Yes, sir.
By the way. No knee pads. We couldn't afford knee pads, so I didn't get the knee pads that catchers can sit on to save their knees. Yeah, no, I didn't get that. I'll never forget it, man. I was in 9 and 10-year-old league, and guy shoots a rocket out to right field. Guy on second starts to take off to third. They start getting the cutoff man. He turns third, heads home. And I was always taught, once the ball's in play, you kind of the helmet I had was a mask helmet combo. So I couldn't just take the mask off, right? If I took the mask off, the helmet had to come off. So as soon as the ball gets hit and it's in play, you rip the mask off so you can see what you're doing. And so he's starting to come home, and here comes the ball, right? And in Little League, when there's a play at the plate, you have to slide. You're supposed to slide to avoid, they don't want the catcher getting trucked or anything, because 9-year-olds are going to get destroyed, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I catch and I turn to tag him, and I'll never forget it. Instead of sliding, he just puts his head down. So he's going full speed, helmet into my face. Boom! Big play at the plate. And all I remember was just this big flash of lightning in my face, and then just kind of laying there. And I remember my first thought was just to kind of look at the ball and see if I had it, and it was in my glove. And I just kind of held my glove up, and I was just like,
you were here you just discombobulated, you just hold the ball up.
I
got him, right?
Damn, he's out.
Then he says he's safe. You get up, be like, what? What did you just say? Not playing.
Dude, I had such a bad nosebleed too. So
I could imagine.
And the thing was, I went to the sideline, sat down. They got the nosebleed, and I was like, "All right, coach, I'm ready to go back in." And he's like, "You can't go back in." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "No, you have to." So, and then that's what I was more sad about, was that I couldn't go back to play.
Oh yeah, I'll be the same way. There was this time. I think it was my senior year in football. I was going to make a tackle, and he made a move, and I just lost my balance. So I reached out, and my right arm had him, but he was running full speed. I was basically just stopping, and my whole arm and everything went back. Ooh. And it popped. I was like, "Oh God!"
Yeah.
I was screaming in pain. I was like, "Someone fix this." So they got. I was moving, and they were like, "You may have to miss it." I'm like, "I'm good. I can play." I was in pain though. I played though. But,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I think that's, again, that's something you learn from kind of playing sports, is that ability to get hurt or get punched or get knocked, and then be able to just get up, dust it off, and keep going.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously sports aren't the only place to learn that, but I guess you know, in areas that like you and I grew up in, that was the way to learn, I guess.
Yeah, you are not wrong about that.
You and I joked the other night about being from the Bible Belt or being in like
Yes,
the
sir.
southern part of the U.S. And that's kind of, you know, it's in our DNA to play sports and stuff like that.
Or just be outside and work on trucks or vehicles, or
Yeah.
swim in a freaking pond that's probably infected or something. But it'd be okay. We're gonna make it through.
And drink out of the hose, right?
Yes, sir. That was some good water too, boy.
It was always so cold too.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing.
Oh my goodness! Did you catch the college playoff championship game last night?
Look, man, I was
if we
going
can call
to
that a championship game.
I was going to, but I was like, that ain't gonna be a game. It's gonna be like Bama versus Notre Dame in 2012. It's gonna be a freaking blowout. And well, I didn't expect it to be that bad, but I was correct.
Yeah.
like I checked the score. It's like the fourth quarter. It's like I think it's 65-7. I'm like, what? I was like, oh no.
Yeah,
I bet Twitter's going crazy. And
I was streaming last night. I remember I looked down. I was like, oh, it's like 65-7. And somebody was like, just stop it already. I'm like, it is. Thank God. But I feel bad. I feel bad for the players, obviously, for TCU. Because you fight that hard to get there. And then like that happens. And that's just, God, no, I can't even imagine.
That's rough.
But shout out to the Bulldogs, second, 2 years in a row now, national champions.
CC.
But I guess kind of a transitioning point now. We kind of got off topic with sports there, but we were talking about gaming and everything. So I guess where did you first kind of get into esports? I know you mentioned about competing for Black Ops and stuff like that. Oh, never mind. I guess you did kind of answer that earlier, so I guess we can kind of transition off that. I lost my train of thought. Did you enjoy competing for Black Ops, or was it just kind of like did you ever want to be like a professional, or was it just kind of a fun hobby to do?
I mean, I wanted to, but at the time I couldn't really put in the hours to really do it. So like after Fort Worth, eventually I was like, well, let me do something from like a management side. But I still like did so. I still did like small little wagers or GB matches on COD, just because like I still wanted to do it, but I knew like my time was I just didn't have the time to really sit down and learn without sacrificing a lot of things I was still working on at the time. So it was a dream, but I think the good Lord was like, no, you ain't gonna be competing, you're gonna be managing. So here we are.
And I mean, the world needs that, though, in order to make things go around. We need great managers, we need great coaches, players, staff, everything to make the world go round. So we need good people in management. You definitely fill the role like very well. I think my first contact with you would have been when you were with Valence. I think that I'm saying that correctly.
Valence.
See, oh man, I'm pretty sure I casted Counter-Strike for you guys.
I want to say you did, actually.
And I think I said Valence the entire time.
Oh, you did. I remember that.
No.
It was. Yeah, you sure did. Because
go ahead.
Actually, I think the first time, well, maybe not the first time we talked, but this was after me and Zach first met a long time ago. Y'all tweeted out, or I guess we technically, since I'm here now, tweeted out that y'all were doing like a ESEA match or something like that. And you were casting. I was like, okay, let me watch. And that was like the first time I actually heard you talk. So yeah, that was interesting.
Was that a Valkyrie Valence match? That may
I
have
don't
been
think it
what
was Valkyrie Valence. It was Valkyrie something. It was before
it had
I
to
was
be.
in CSGO. It might have been.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
That was the Hunter Zerch, Strider, Cheetah.
Yeah,
I can't remember who else. Nova played with us for a little bit that season as well. Yep. Yep. Okay. And now it makes sense. And that was actually going to be one of my bullet points as well, is that you and Zach have actually known each other for quite a while. So how did that relationship start? Like, where did you guys meet, and kind of like, how have you kind of kept touch over the years, I guess?
So we actually met at Fort Worth.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Yeah. So like we got there, and like obviously we got destroyed by whoever we played, and then Zach's team at the time, I think they got the second or third round. I don't remember. It was a long time ago, and him and my owner were talking, or not my owner, but him and the owner of the Esports, or the org I was with at the time, were talking. I went over there, say hey, shook his hand, we talked a little bit, and then we just kept in touch a little bit. And then when I was with H&C, we got an R6, and I came across a player who you know very well named JJ Blatz. Yeah. And he played under me for, I want to say, about 6 months, and something happened like internally. He had to leave or something, or I don't remember actually. And I messaged Zach. I was like, because I wanted him to be to a good org, you know, and I heard some good stuff about Valkyrie at the time. So I talked to Zach, and I was like, hey man, you want an R6 team? He said, yeah, sure. I sent him that way, and I guess Zach just liked me ever since.
Because I'm pretty sure that was a championship team too.
Yeah, that was. I mean, Zach calls it like the golden age of Valkyrie or something like that. Like, it was like, yeah, we're doing really well when that happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I make fun. I sometimes joke with Zach. I'm like, I would like 10% of the profits y'all made. Just saying.
he gives you $1 here. Here's $1.
I'll be like, hey, that's a $1 I didn't have, boy.
That's 10% of the. Esports is like that sometimes. You know, I've started to notice like a lot of orgs will spend just an outrageous amount of money just to not have any kind of return of investment. And unfortunately, we're seeing a lot of orgs that kind of popped up during COVID are starting to shut their doors.
Heck, even some of the I don't know if you saw it, but earlier today 100T let go of like I think 20 employees. It's been like all across Twitter. Is this? I wouldn't say it's like not a bad investment again in esports, but you gotta be smart about it,
right?
Because like now it's starting to get on like a big stage where people are starting to notice it now. Like there's sometimes freaking CS:GO majors that's happening on like cable television that you could watch. Like it's getting so well known, and more people want to do it. More games are coming out, so a lot more bigger player bases you can reach around. And it's just they're like, oh, I want the best team here, right now. Okay, that happens, but then let's just say they don't win nothing. That's a lot of money you just kind of wasted.
Yep. And
it's starting to hurt a lot of. I think who was it? Was it G1? I think it was. It was the Halo roster. Someone got rid of. It was like a big time Halo roster. I think it might have been C9. They had to get rid of because they will start to lose some profits too. So it's starting to show up, and obviously I'm screaming like, oh gosh, there we go. And obviously like you just gotta be smarter with what you do, you know. Which obviously I'm not in that position. I just tell Zach what esports is going on, and he handles all that.
And I think a lot of it has to do with culture that you build as well. Which I think, I mean, I don't want to like brag or anything, but I think that we've kind of built some of the best staff that we've ever seen at Valkyrie as well. Like things are really starting to pop off with Joey handling the content team. We're starting to see consistent videos being put out from the content team, which then motivates those guys. They get excited about projects coming out, and sometimes we see them get motivated about their own content as well. Plus some of the building blocks workshops that we're going to be starting for the content creators and just the org in general has been really cool, bringing in some phenomenal teams for the esports, and then just in general the staff working together. Like there's a really good flow now that I've noticed, and just the overall camaraderie and fellowship has just been at an all-time high as well.
I agree. I mean, see, that was like a luxury like some people had. Like I've never had like a staff when I work. It was always been me, maybe one other person. And you know, like I ain't gonna say which org did what, but like there was times with like like owners and stuff had to like take a break and stuff, and then like I was like helping with like making tweets and helping pay for entry fees and finding tournaments and getting people to cast or matches for our teams and stuff. It was like I never I'm never gonna take for granted a good staff ever again in my life, because like ever since I've been here, like it is not like I've had some stressful days obviously working here because of some unfortunate circumstances that me and you both know about. Yeah. But like it's just it makes it so much easier, man.
Yeah, it's really nice. And then being able to rely on those people, you know.
Yes.
If you're having a bad day, you can rely on somebody that's going to be there and support you, have your back. And I think, I mean, we've seen the Discord just pop off recently. I mean, we've got 3 or 4 members in there every single night at a minimum.
Whether they're just chilling, playing games, like they're just chilling. I'm like, wow, that's great, actually.
Yeah. It's really nice to see the community start to come together, because I felt like we had lost that when I first joined back in October of 2 years ago, I guess. I can't call it last year. Yeah, 2 years ago, 2021. Yeah. There was that excitement that was there for joining. The content creators were all there, and then we kind of saw everything kind of like, I don't know, everyone kind of started doing their own thing and kind of growing apart from each other. And it's really nice to see it kind of bring that the pride is back in the brand now. And that's what I really love about it. You know, we're putting out these podcasts, not as consistent as we'd like to, but with the holidays coming, that kind of messed our schedule up. But we're back on a every other week basis now. So
Hey, you got to start the new year right with the best person.
There you go.
Get what I mean? Yes, sir.
There you go. Pixel might be a little mad at that, but no.
hey, look, me and her, we'll go at it now. That's all I gotta say. Pix, I'm the best guest on this podcast.
You heard it. Remember that. You heard it here first, folks, from the mouth of Shadow. We're starting to sell tickets for the showdown. We're gonna sell them at $1 a pop for the cheap seats, $5 for ringside.
Yes, sir. And look, she don't want nothing. She don't want these hands.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Now that I think about it, she may whip my butt.
Listen, Air Force, while it may be the Air Force, their combatives are still pretty good. So I don't know, man.
That's a good point.
She is a competitive shooter, so you might not even get there. But I'm just.
Oh Lord! Oh, Pix, I'm sorry. Just take everything back. I didn't mean anything.
Oh man. All right. So obviously another topic that we were talking about earlier was with you having worn so many hats in esports. I guess what was some of your more challenging roles, and maybe what was more of like your fun roles that you've had? And I guess if you had your choice and like that's the role you wanted to be in for the rest of your life, pretty much, what role would that be?
You talking about just like esports, right?
Right. So I guess the first, let me break it so it's not so much for you to unload at first. I guess what have been some of the worst roles that you've had as far as on the management side or staff side?
I wouldn't say I've had like worse or horrible roles, but when it comes to like stress wise, definitely probably co-ownership. Because oh my Lord, like there's just so much that goes into it. Like I've always had respect for owners, but I've had so much more respect ever since I had become one. And like, especially you don't have a staff that helps you in like content and esports and social media, and you kind of have to do all that along with what your owners have to do too. Oh my sweet Jesus, man, it's horrible. Like that made me question if I wanted to be in esports sometimes. It was bad, man. But to answer your next question about like lost my train of thought. Oh, about like what would be like something I would like to do, like I guess full time, I guess is what you're trying to say, or yes, it'll honestly just be what I'm doing right now as director of Esports. Because I mean, I've always told people when I've been doing interviews with orgs in the past and everything, I was like, I just want to be around the players and coaches. because that's where I feel the most camaraderie, if that makes sense. But yeah, content's fun because you can make fun ideas and everything, and ownership's it's a big part, but like I feel like being a part of the esport teams and helping like build what your brand wants to be, I think that's like the best job you can get in the organization, which obviously people may disagree with that. And I'm a director of esports right now, so I'm probably kind of biased, but that's just me.
I got you. All right. So obviously, I mean, well, people that are watching right now, the viewers may not know how big of a hand you had in finding the COD team and doing meetings and doing what's the word I'm looking for, like in talks with them and everything like that. Explain the process there. I think that would be kind of a great story to kind of talk about what all the challenges we had to go through that, and then finally the excitement now of having them and competing under the banner.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of just fell in our lap, honestly. Like, because at the time we weren't really looking to be in COD, obviously, right. And we had some other stuff that was lined up, like a lot of good stuff that we thought was going to happen. And when they actually reached out to me, it was the coach, Hitta, and I actually know him through like a friend, so it was like, oh, okay, I know who he is. I didn't know he coached, but he's been coaching since the CDO started. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Anyways, back on track. And I brought it up, which I knew we would probably be like, no, we probably don't need a COD team because we have some other stuff going on. And then I kept in touch. I was like, hey, I can help you find a home. I know some good places. I'll reach out and talk to them. So I was doing that a little bit. And then obviously all that stuff fell through. And me and Zach talked more about that's a very sad time. We ain't gonna talk about that. Oh, I still have nightmares about that day.
Let's just say, ladies and gentlemen, we had some exciting developments that kind of were happening in the background, and it fell through at the last moment. But
yes, sir.
We'll put it to bed. We've got the COD team to believe in now. So. Oh yeah.
But excuse me. And what Zach was like, let me talk to him. Let's talk about this. All right. So we talked about it. He was like, oh, actually, no. Back up a little bit. So then he messaged me again, and he made like a quote unquote like sweeter deal for us in a sense. So I was like, and they're top 32 roster, and most top 32 rosters don't ask for what they were asking, or because they usually ask for a lot more. So I was like, hey, Zach and Mitch and whoever else was there, I brought it up, and I was like the middle guy between everybody, and because I had to like relay information. And Hitta was like awesome. He was very passionate. He's a very passionate guy. I don't know if you had a chance to talk to him quite yet.
Not quite yet.
But he's awesome. Like, he's passionate. Like, he's already. I don't know if you've seen on Twitter. He's got the Valk name in it. He's got the banner. His stream overlays has the Valk stuff in it. Like, he's excited. I love it. But I finally set up a meeting between everybody, and it worked out. And we finally got contracts sent out, everything signed up, and here we are. About to roll in their technically second tournament under us this weekend.
I was gonna say they've had a great couple of weeks competing in what is it? Is
the league qualifier?
Is it GB or what have they been in?
Oh, so when it was like the I guess transition stage before it was officially announced, they did the league qualifier, which is like some of the best amateurs teams like play in. It's like a league basically for their own thing. And then the first official tournament was the Challengers Cup.
Yep.
It's kind of like similar to how Apex does theirs, but it's just for Call of Duty. And they did really well. They got top 32. Took a map off one of the academy rosters, which was big, because
it was Lag Academy, right?
Well, technically, they took one off of both. They took one off of Lag Academy in the Elite Qualifiers, and took one off in Rocker Academy in the Cup.
Which is insane, by the way. Like, the fact that they're going up against some pro academy teams is like huge.
Some of them have ex pros that used to be in the league too, and it was good, and they're really excited about this weekend too. So we'll see what happens.
I'm excited for them, and it's nice to have a team that's like excited to be here too. Because something that I've learned working with, we'll call it amateur esports at this point, is that there's not a lot of loyalty there. You know, they're just a lot of players are just there to play under a banner because they need an org for support, and that's it. And not a lot of them really get integrated into the org as far as passion, pride, and like the other aspects of it. So it's nice to see players that are excited to be here. It's a refreshing moment, definitely, especially coming from the Counter-Strike side where it's like robots. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my god. And we're seeing it right now because like season 44 is right around the corner. I think signups are done now. And just seeing how many like, and I hate it for NACS, but like we see it all the time where there's no loyalty. Teams will not stick together. They don't want to grow. They would just rather kick somebody, find somebody new and go. Or they have a bad season and they just disband and start all over again. I'm like, you're never going to grow if you don't stick with people. So it's just
I mean, honestly, COD's not that in the same way in a sense. Which I'm not saying our guys are going to do it. They love playing with each other, and their vibes are good. I've been talking to them a little bit. They're awesome guys, but like some of these like guys are trying to make their name known in like the at least the amateur scene. Like they were like team hop 5 times in a week or something like that, bro. Like it's crazy. It's just people are selfish nowadays, and I'm not trying to say that's a bad thing because obviously people need to grow and try to get a name out there. But like, there's a way to do it, and there's a way to do it in an unselfish manner as well. If that makes sense,
right? And I think one of the biggest things that I love about our org and what we're starting to do and kind of how we're marketing ourselves to new teams, new orgs, or sorry, new teams, new players and new like content creators is kind of these workshops. You know, hey, we're going to invite you in and we're going to show you, you know, how to build your own brand. Because I think a lot of esports players don't really focus on that aspect of the game. You know, we're going to teach you how to build your brand so that you're more marketable. We're going to, you know, if you need help wanting to start streaming, we've got Joey there to help you with the content team on how to get started streaming, how to build your brand, how to build a good looking brand as well. So that, you know, if in the end, you know, you end up parting ways with the org, then you can still set yourself up for success. And I think that's something that a lot of orgs don't do. They don't really have that care or desire to help their team grow. They're just there, you know, collecting a quote unquote paycheck. So
yeah, I mean, see, that's why like I don't think many amateur players understand like how big branding is. And I'm like, okay, let's use Call of Duty. Like, look at Scump.
Yeah.
Like, he's been making content since what, the Black Ops 2 days? Maybe a little bit earlier, but I know since the Black Ops 2 days. And now look at him now. Like, he literally could have quit competing like 2-3 years ago, and he'd probably be one of the highest paid streamers right now.
Yeah.
If we're being completely honest. And that's just his branding. He's done really good with that. Along with other players, like now you see Octane trying to do it, even Simps trying to do it. Who's some people call him like the next king of Call of Duty because I don't know. That's another topic for another day. But anyways, you know, but yeah, it's just like branding is so important nowadays because like let's just say you have to stop competing or like you don't find success in competing in like amateur events or amateur level, and you have no way to brand yourself to these bigger orgs to try and be like, hey, I have good skill, just haven't had good luck. What they gonna look at? Just, you know, like, who are you as a person? What do you do? Do you make content? Do you do this, that, and another? Like, it all matters at the end of the day.
100%. And I think one of the big challenges as far as from an org standpoint that you and I have run into is that the expectations of players are becoming more and more of a mountain to climb for orgs. I mean, you and I how many times have we run into, let's say, a C tier or a D tier, or I guess in terms of other esports, that would be what, like tier 3, tier 4, I guess would be the best way to explain it. And they're expecting salary, and it's like, or like, really? Like,
yeah, I just because they just see how people can make money off of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame them.
Right?
I'm not taking I'd be trying to make some money too if I'm being honest, but like they have to understand, like, not everyone's rich.
Yeah.
Like, we're just normal people with normal jobs in the real world.
Right. And I feel like you haven't established yourself as like a winning team yet either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, have you beat some of these top tier teams? As in, like, tier 2? No. Alrighty then.
Yeah. And I think I would like to see that in, like, I don't deal on the ownership side and contracts and stuff like that, but I feel like that's something that I would imagine we're probably seeing more of nowadays. Is like, yes, people are having a salary, but making it like performance and incentivized or performance based, you know.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you do well in tournaments, then we start looking at doing like bonuses and stuff like. And I feel like that's the best way to attack it, is obviously doing like a base salary if you have the money for that. But then instead of like these big grand numbers that people are thinking of, like $400 a week or $400 a month, you know, like making it incentive based, which, and then will keep the team hopefully together for longer, and then two, feel that desire for them to improve and then make themselves better, which then again makes the org and better stand. I think it works for all teams or all sides.
I agree with you 100%, actually. It's just, some people are just, I won't say stubborn, maybe it's the right word, but they're just like, they sit on what they want and they won't even try to negotiate stuff.
Definitely. Yeah, I had my train of thought just kind of, I had another topic I went to transition to, and it totally, I love having ADHD sometimes. It's just so great.
It's like 10 out of 10.
I hate like the worst thing in the world is walking into a room and not remembering why you're there.
Oh my gosh, bro. Like, yes. Like, or like you like pick up something and you just going to do something with it and be like, why did I pick this up? Or like, oh my god.
And then you go back into the room it was originally in to pick it up again, and it's not there. And now you've lost it. You're like, where did I just put that?
Now you're like going, like retracing your steps, like back in all your rooms. Like, why did I put it in here?
Oh my god! Yesterday I went to refill my water. Right, I got up from stream and I went to go refill my water, but I put it down at Tricky's desk because I went to give her a kiss and check up on her, make sure she was still doing all right.
Oh, goes.
And then like I walked back into the stream room, or I was walking back to the stream room because I forgot I was getting water, and I was like, oh yeah, I need to refill my water. Well, then I looked at the sink and the glass is not there. I'm like, oh, I must not have brought my glass out. So I popped back into the stream room. The glass is not there, and I'm like, God, where is it? And so finally I turn back around and there it is on her desk. I'm like, oh, okay.
I could see, like, if you had your camera on, you just go and be like, where's my water? And just walk out. and Trinky's just over there just having a good time with your water just right there on the camera.
And like you pace back and forth because your brain is like, yes, no, yes, no, yes. No, like that scene from The Grinch is like perfect.
Oh my lord, I swear, bro. It's so. It has this moments where I'm like, I'm just going to bed. I'm done with the day, man.
Oh, yeah, it's great for like doing hosting or casting because your brain can fire off ideas.
Oh yeah.
But man, when the important things happen, it sucks. But anyway, I remembered my train of thought. It's amazing how that works, by the way.
Right.
Obviously with you being, the director of esports and you doing scouting and recruiting and stuff like that, I guess, what are some of your methods that you use to scout teams? I guess let's start there. Is like, how do you go about one, starting your scouting process, and then like tools and tips that you would use or that you would let people know as to help their scouting process?
I mean, well, obviously you gotta know what esport you want to join first. That's like the big deal. Like, okay, what esports are we going to try and get into? Let's just say it's, just such and such. Okay. So we got that set. And obviously, like something y'all actually helped me out a lot with is Liquipedia.
Mm-hmm.
Like before then, it was just I didn't use Liquipedia because I don't know, I just didn't really thought about it using it that way. But usually, like if we're looking for something, I just like look around who's in the scene. Like let me find like an actual scene of the esport, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let me just find okay who competes in, and let me tell me more about the scene, like what do most players ask for, and this, that, and the other. And it's just honestly, it's more than anything just making connections with people. Because like even though it's someone you may not be able to get or interested in picking up, it's still like good to like understand what the esport is doing like a cultural way, if that makes sense. Like 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 how big are the tournaments? How many players join the tournaments? Is it team based? Is it more, is it like Call of Duty and CS:GO where people change teams every other freaking hour? Like it that's a lot that goes into it. And if it is team based, I try to find at least a set team, or at least if it's like Call of Duty, like at least a team of 3, if not a whole team. Because what some people are good at, like finding 4 random players and putting them together and it works out. Good for y'all. I don't trust. I there's a lot of bad and good things that can come from that, and I don't want to take that chance. At least with me, at least. It's it's just, and then just reaching out, talking to them, not as. Hold on, I think I just lost my train of thought.
Uh-oh. See?
Like I was talking and then my mind just went blank. I'm like, wait, what the heck? What was I about to say? I think I just short circuited my brain real quick. Oh my goodness! But
we're talking about
yeah,
cultural. I think that was last.
Yeah,
year.
it's just understanding the culture of the esport. Like like is it even worth getting into? Because obviously you'd be interested in esport. Is it worth getting into the esport though? Like, but. I know it kind of like dodges around your question a little bit, but like obviously that's why I look in first, and obviously I get people's opinions about the esport because y'all don't like my idea of an esport. I ain't gonna break it up because Zach will probably get mad at me. But anyways, we're just gonna move on from that.
He's editing the video, so go for it.
Oh, is he? Hey, hey Zach, let me tell you something. All right, I'm telling you, fighting games is a great esport. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. I love you, buddy.
Well, I tell you what, let's leave it up to the viewers here. If you would like to see, Valkyrie kind of start to dip their toes into the fighting game pool, go ahead and drop a comment.
Yes,
let's say hashtag Valkyrie fighting or hashtag Valkyrie smash. That's a good one. There we go. Hashtag Valkyrie smash as a comment. One, that'll let us know that you've watched all this way, and we appreciate it if you have. And 2, that way we can finally settle the debate and see if there's traction there, if there's stock.
I'm telling you, it's such a fun esport video. But I'm gonna be quiet.
Oh man, and honestly, I guess that is another good kind of topic or talking point is, what are some of your favorite esports to scout?
Ooh.
I guess like because I mean obviously each one have their own. Obstacles and objections and stuff like that. So I guess what are esports that you've had a lot of fun scouting in, or what are some esports that you haven't had a lot of fun scouting in as well?
Obviously I love scouting fighting games, obviously, because sorry, I got distracted by a message. But it's just like it's so easy to like figure out like for fighting games because like. Usually there's a lot of like weekly stuff that goes on, and most of it's streamed. It's just depending on because it's very like state oriented, whatever. Anyways, and like because like I just got a lot of guys from the state of Colorado, which I know Colorado. What? Yeah, it has a big Smash scene over there. And they do like a weekly tournament, and they have like power rankings and everything, and like it personality wise, like people are so like great over there, so like uplifting and very positive. So I love scouting fighting games because it's just so fun. Plus, I don't know that much about fighting games, so when something happens that I don't know about, I'm like, what just happened? And I gotta learn about it. Now when it comes to esports, I don't like or didn't like scouting for. That's honestly Gears of War, low key.
Ooh.
I don't know, like, even though like I love Gears of War, I had a lot of good luck. It's, man, like, Gears of War was just such a toxic esport because I don't know if you ever watched like any like old school Gears of War events or anything of that nature, but like when Optic Gaming was still doing Vision, I think, Vision, wasn't it? I think, I don't remember.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't know Gears of War was competitive. I
Yeah,
never knew there was an
a
esports scene for Gears of War.
Yes,
That's
sir.
actually pretty cool.
Yeah. It actually ended in like 2020, I want to say. I think that's right, 2020. It just didn't, it's hard, like, I'll get back to that in a second, but like,
Yeah.
it was just so toxic because like in the events, like after a map win, the whole team would stand up and just start shouting and just saying all of this random stuff, just trying to dog the opponent. And obviously there was some really good players that were really chill. Like, I actually scouted a guy from Gears of War that went on to become a Gears of War major champion and a 2-time MVP, which I'm still mad about because he didn't do that when he was under me. But besides the point, it's just, and plus the player base was kind of like a low number around that time too, because people just wasn't enjoying the games that were coming out. Kind of like how Call of Duty is right now, even though it's still got a really good player base for the most part. But I've seen a lot of players this COD alone have retired, like Chino. I think Mox retired here recently, I think. So I don't know. It just depends because a lot of OGs are retiring now. Maybe just getting old. I don't know. Who knows?
And we all know about Scum's last ride, man.
Yes, sir. It's gonna be. Hopefully they can at least win one with them. That'd be a good way to go out.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's what everyone's hoping. I feel like everyone's pulling for Optic this season just to.
I think even the other teams are pulling for Optic.
Well, I don't know about that because they got. It was not pretty at the Raleigh
maybe not
major.
Florida don't like. Florida is trying to end Scump's season early. Like, that's crazy.
So I believe Boston is next, right? That's that's this weekend.
No, Boston is the
it?
Cup is this weekend. Boston Major. Well, I guess the Boston qualifiers start this weekend. So
Yeah,
you're
I
right.
knew it was something like that.
Yeah, it starts back this week.
Challengers. Okay, gotcha. When is call it a major 2? Hold on.
It's the weekend of the 4th.
I got you. So yeah, it's coming up. There it is. I wonder how much. God, I could only imagine. I really wish I had gone to Raleigh. It's like 20 minutes away. But we had so much going on that weekend. We didn't get a chance to go. But now I really wish I had gone because I've never been to a LAN event besides.
Really?
Well, I went to Nerd Street, Chicago, for when they did a Valorant LAN, and that was kind of cool. But it's not the same as like a professional major. Like, I feel like the electricity in the building is just going to be
crazy.
Like a whole nother level, right?
It's honestly amazing.
And coming from like an entertainer slash caster, kind of that role, like host, feeling that electricity is the best, and that juices somebody up to just another level.
Oh yeah, I think even casters like feed off of it too, because like there's been so many moments where it be Call of Duty, Dota 2, Esports, League of Legends, like something big happens and that crowd erupts, and you just feel the caster just going crazy after that. It's amazing because obviously I was at Fort Worth where Luminosity when Formo was still on Luminosity at the time, And even though it wasn't like Optic in the finals, it was, I think, LG versus Splice. Oh my gosh, bro! Like the fans were going crazy. Like it was louder in person than on the stream. Because I rewatched it on the stream. I was like, no, that is so much louder than when it was. It was amazing. Well, I highly recommend you going one day.
Yeah, I feel like they do that on purpose, as far as they deafen the sound, the noise, just so that it doesn't go over the game or the casters and stuff. But I feel like they need to keep it in, because like from a viewer's perspective, if you're watching on Twitch or something like that, if hearing that noise is going to be, that's going to juice you up as well and get you excited and keep watching. I mean, you're going to share that moment with your friend and be like, dude, you missed, Scump's clutch in the search and destroy, or for us, you missed Valkyrie going to, day 2 in the COD Major, but we'll see.
Right. Like, I mean, imagine some of these like bigger esports like plays that's happened without a crowd.
Oh,
like imagine the 1v1 with Scump and Cillium. Like, you remember how that crowd went off after Scump won? Imagine that without a crowd. It literally changes how esports is. Yeah,
100%. And I feel like we took that for granted, and then once COVID happened, we kind of really started to see like, oh man, it's a huge, like, fans and crowds make sports in general, whether it be esports, or like any kind of like entertainment value thing. Like, fans and the passion really are the backbone of that product, and so it's amazing.
That's why I think now is like fans are going even more crazy, because well, I wouldn't say more crazy, but like people are just wanting to go now more than ever, because like they realize how, like, I wouldn't say dull, because obviously there was still great moments during that year of like sports and esports, but like you just could tell like people were just like, I want to go back. Like they want to be in person watching. And ever since then, I think sports has been so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion, though.
Oh, 100%. I really want to get to a TwitchCon one of these days, man. I feel like that'd be a lot of fun. As a creator and just a streamer that's been on the site for a few years now, which is boggles my mind to say that. It really does not feel like come July it'll be my 4-year anniversary streaming.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, look at you.
I don't know if it's a factor of, and I talked to a customer of mine today about this. I don't know if it's just because as you get older that days fly by faster.
I agree.
But like, if you remember before 18 years old, right? It seemed like days would drag on. Like you had all the time in the world. And like you couldn't wait to get to 18, but I feel like literally like 18 happened, and boom, I blinked, and now I'm getting ready to be 32. And it's like, wait a minute, wait a minute, what happened?
Wait, what happened to my 20s? Wait a minute. Oh, but look, I agree, because like it doesn't seem like that long. Like I turned 24 this month, and I know that's not 32. That but. Like, it doesn't feel like 6 years ago I was still in high school.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like that was, like, maybe a year ago. But, I don't know. I mean, age is just a number, in a sense. Because, like, you can still make so many great moments. Because, like, you think about how fast, like, hold on, I gotta get situated again. My chair's making weird noises. Like, my parents always told me, like, life's gonna go by faster than what you think. And I was a kid, I was like, no, it ain't. And here I am. Like, I have, a good job opportunity that I might hopefully get.
Oh?
Maybe, yeah. I really want to talk about it, but I don't want to jinx it.
I got you. We'll just cross our fingers for you. Everyone watching the video now, we're
oh, for sure.
Yeah, we
trust me. If it gets announced, I'm gonna be happy. Which I mean you know about it, but like, I don't want to make it like public knowledge, because But yeah, it's flown by, man. So I'm just trying to like slow time down a little and just enjoy my days.
And that's kind of all we can do, man.
Oh yes, sir.
All right. Well, I weirdly enough, it's our hour has passed us, good sir. It's insane.
Really?
Talking about time flying. Yeah. We just hit the hour mark as of recording. So by the time we do like the outro and like everything like that, it'll be an hour of recording. So I appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you for making this probably one of the quickest hours I think I've ever had talking.
I hope that was a good thing.
Yeah, well, of course. Like I said, because a lot of times like I've got a notepad up on my PC of like time marks I want to hit. Like by this time I want to have these topics discussed and stuff like that. That's how I transition really well. Joey was like, dude, you're great. That's because I have it scheduled. But this one, I mean, like I haven't even looked at the time because we just got caught up in so many topics. So, but I appreciate you coming on. I know we've been wanting to do this for a while now. So thank you for doing that. Where can people find you? So if you want to go ahead and plug your Twitter, YouTube, because I know that you were talking, or was it TikTok? I think that I saw that you're wanting to do YouTube. Yeah. So go ahead and plug that so people can find you.
All right. So you can find me on Twitter at SirShadow76. Is at capital SIR, capital S, with where the two S's are capitalized, and then 76. And my YouTube is actually, I ain't started up quite yet. It's in the process. I got some ideas coming that hopefully will work out. But you can find that one on, oh god, it's called Mr. Shadow. It's the same profile picture. It's just, that's all it's called. It's Mr. Shadow. Boom.
I'm pointing over to your profile picture here now. So
okay.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have watched this far, thank you so much for all the love and support. Thank you for watching the video all the way through. Please drop a like if you enjoyed the podcast. Leave a comment as well if you're listening on Spotify. It won't hurt to hop on over to YouTube, drop a comment there, give us a like. Check out some of the other content that we've been dropping. We've had some amazing videos go out between staff and our content creators having a great Valorant match. We've got some exciting videos coming up as well. The tier list video is hilarious, by the way.
Yes, I love that video actually.
And just make sure you hit the notification bell so you know every time we drop the podcast as well. But other than that, have a good rest of your night. Happy New Year, by the way, for those of you that are viewing this. Happy New Year, happy 2023, and we look forward to seeing each and every single one of you in the next one. Have a good night, guys.